like a kaleidoscope, constantly changing patterns and colors. The city of Hoover is filled with a variety of cultures, traditions, languages, and lifestyles that come together in a vibrant and dynamic way. This video series highlights and celebrates our colorful, multifaceted community with current and past events involving our citizens. Together, we embrace the richness of our community's cultural tapestry. This is Community Kaleidoscope. In every city, there are places that hold its stories. Not the kind written in textbooks or carved into monuments, but the ones you only find if someone takes the time to show you. Tucked into Bluff Park, past the ordinary streets and familiar routines, there's a small wooden building where history is kept alive. Not by preservation alone, but by participation. Every year, students from Bluff Park Elementary step into this world. They don't walk into a museum, they walk into a memory, presented carefully by the Hoover Historical Society. It's a place where the old ways are not artifacts, they are demonstrations. Tools aren't behind glass, they're in someone's hands. To a kid, that feels like magic. And when the kid leaves, maybe they don't remember every detail, but they remember the feeling. The warmth of the cabin, the smell of wood, the sense that history isn't something behind us. It's something we carry. And that's what the Hoover Historical Society keeps alive. Not just stories, but the understanding that stories matter. The thing about history is, it doesn't preserve itself. That's the real purpose of the Hoover Historical Society. Multiple times a year, its members gather, not out of obligation, out of devotion. It's people giving their time so the past doesn't slip away. In between updates, motions, and the hum of business, you realize this is how a community remembers itself, one meeting at a time. The archives tucked inside the Public Safety Center are a different kind of meeting place. A meeting with time itself. President Debbie Burtnett greets me with a smile that says she's told these stories before, but never gets tired of telling them again. Vice President of Membership Pam Thompson joins her, the two moving through the room with the ease of people who know exactly where everything is, even if you don't. Because this archive, this organized but not too organized maze of boxes, binders, and shelves, is a testament to the idea that history isn't neat. It's messy. It piles up. It hides in drawers and envelopes and photographs that someone almost threw away. Standing here, surrounded by Hoover's memories, you can feel what this city values. Its beginning, its growth, its people. If the archives hold the city's story, then Jim Langley holds a chapter all his own. Former president of the Hoover Historical Society, caretaker of more facts, faces, and firsts than most people will ever know. Jim didn't just study Hoover's past, he wrote it, quite literally, a book simply titled Hoover History. He takes me into what he calls his man cave, but that title doesn't really fit, because this isn't a retreat from the world, it's a map of the world he's lived in. Every wall, every shelf, every corner is covered with pieces of a life thoroughly examined. Artwork he created, portraits, landmarks, scenes, not just of the places he's been, but of the people he's met, and the moments that mattered. When you sit with Jim, you realize the history he shares isn't academic. It's personal, not because he lived all of it, but because he cared enough to gather it, to tell it, to keep it from fading.
Well, the main thing in preserving it, and like I said, even though Hoover was only incorporated in 67 and Mr. Hoover didn't kind of move in here until about 58 and start his business, Hoover, the footprint of Hoover, like Bluff Park and all those areas, has tremendous history of going back to the early 1800s and a lot of it was kind of like disappearing. And so we considered ourselves as trying to preserve history, but we also want to make sure people are exposed to the history and try to get information out as much as possible.
From early beginnings to the city we know today, Hoover's story is one of progress, resilience, and community. Thanks to the Hoover Historical Society, those stories are preserved, remembered, and shared, ensuring the legacy of Hoover continues to inspire future generations. And that brings us to the end of this episode. But the journey doesn't stop here. There are more stories to share, more interesting people to meet, and countless vibrant shapes, patterns, and colors in our kaleidoscope of community. Join us next time. Thank you for watching, and let the colors of our world keep spinning.